Reactor, roll off.
Hey guys, John here from Reactor. I'm here at Respawn Entertainment Studio, and can you guys give a little introduction?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Mohammad Alavi. I am a senior designer on Titanfall 2.
I'm John Shiring. I'm a lead engineer on Titanfall 2.
And for Titanfall 2, for me at least, the biggest thing that I'm excited about is single player mode, and it has that compared to like the first one. So why add single player for this one?
That was an easy choice, actually. So we listened to our community a lot, and they said they wanted two major things. The first was more. They just wanted more. Deeper progression system, more weapons, more abilities. So we gave them that on the multiplayer side. The other thing they said is that they wanted a full single player experience because, you know, Titanfall had lore and universe building, but it was kind of hard to like get into it when you're getting your butt kicked online, right? So they wanted like an offline experience that they could really like delve into that. So that was part of the equation. The other part is we have a lot of devs here who have over a decade of experience making single player games. So there's a passion there. So that passion combined with what the community wanted, it was a really easy choice to just go make a full-fledged single player experience.
And for the single player, how did you go about it compared to, let's say, other games? Like what did you want to avoid and what did you want to like just add in?
So the hard part about making a single player for Titanfall was what is a single player for Titanfall, right? There's like nothing else we could draw from. And it's not like we wanted to take all these like, you know, great mechanics and, you know, gameplay design ideas from Titanfall 1, pick them up and plop them into a hallway with a bunch of explosions. Like that would not make those designs shine. And I feel like, you know, a truly good single player is about like making like your mechanics shine in the best way that they possibly can. So it took a long time and a lot of iteration and a lot of years to figure out what a Titanfall level is. And that's kind of funny because there is no single Titanfall level. Like there's so much variety and so much, you know, breadth of gameplay in like the Titanfall single player that you can't point to any one level and be like, that's the experience. You have to kind of play the whole thing, and there's a lot there.
And do you know like the rough estimate on the gameplay time?
I can't give you like, you know, a specific time because that's really hard depending on like difficulty and things like that. Also because we're still tweaking things and like it's not done yet. But I can tell you the common consensus, it's a lot longer than people expected it to be. And I can tell you for a fact, it's very meaty. There's a lot there. You're gonna get your money's worth.
So I was watching the demonstration for the single player. BT kind of sounds to me like Peter Cullen. Is it Peter Cullen or someone else?
It's not. It does sound similar, I agree. That might just be the fact that he's a 20-foot giant robot and all 20-foot giant robots sound the same.
That'd be robotist. For the multiplayer, there's a lot of new options. Like I love the grappling. For certain characters, the pilots, the different classes, some of them have like new stuff, different stuff. So what makes you guys decide like this pilot would have this thing and another pilot would have that compared to like, let's say they would have everything?
There's a lot that goes into it. A lot of it is just figuring out a whole library of really fun gameplay, and then you figure out how to chop it up. The biggest thing is to try to make sure that when you're picking any particular, you know, kit or boost or anything, it should be a hard choice. If it's not a hard choice, then we've screwed up. And so you kind of have to group things together so that you're looking through things and figuring out like, oh man, I would like to use all of these. Which one am I going to use for this class? And so that's kind of the real mentality that goes into it when we're figuring out what to put where.
Yeah, because I had a tough time choosing like different pilots. I was like, why? So, for the customization, I was wondering if the look of the character and the let's say, what was the guy with just the robot legs? What does he call it?
Geist, I think.
So that comes from your primary ability that will decide what your character looks like. So you have readability on pilots. So the guy with the grappling hook is robot. I believe Stim is also the robot body. I don't know their names, but that's the practical version of it. Depends on what you choose as your ability.
So can the human have the grappling powers, or is it just strictly for the robot?
If you choose grapple, your pilot will look like that robotic one.
That's not to say you can't customize them. There's full level customization for the pilots, the Titans, and the weapons. And there's also nose art for the Titans too. But the point of locking down the model for that ability is readability. So when you see that guy, you know he's got grapple and not something else. So you can make tactical decisions based off that information.
And for multiplayer, you have single player. Is it like the team is split into two and everyone's just focusing like it's equally as important?
Oh, absolutely. So I wouldn't say the entire team across the entire company is split into two, but the design department is definitely split into two, multiplayer and single player. We've got Todd Alderman back, like leading the multiplayer design, and yeah, equally important on both sides, 100%.
And you guys mentioned like the development cycle was like 2 years. Was it like a very tough thing to pull off, just to add a lot of new features?
Yeah, I mean, the most of the company was supporting Titanfall 1 for 8 or 9 months after launch, if you remember, and we did a lot of stuff to support our community because we really loved the reaction to the game and what a great community we had. So it kind of even shortened our dev cycle a little more. But early on, we did a bunch of experiments to try to figure out what we would do for single player and what Titanfall 2 could be. And so at that point, everyone was just, running, and we've done so much stuff in this game. Hopefully it all came through. So the huge upgrades to the renderer and the audio, we replaced the physics engine, netcode, a whole bunch of things went into this. And obviously we're now on PS4, and that was also a huge amount of work. So on the engineering side, it's been amazing amount of work we've got done in a fairly small amount of time. The single player guys have been just working their butts off, coming up with something that's totally new and different. It's been a really fun journey to make this game, and I can't wait till people play it in October.
Cannot wait.
It's coming multi-platform. Can you talk about like cross-play or cross-platform if PS4 players can play with Xbox One players and vice versa?
So we're not supporting it. It's something we would look at if it were a possibility, but for policy reasons, it's not something we can do right now. So instead, we've focused all our energy on the networks and new matchmaking and all the kind of stuff that comes through on each platform that it'll be on.
And for the network side, it kind of reminds me of kind of like a Facebook group. Like here's the group, or here's whatever page, and then like everyone, I'm doing this, join me. So it's kind of like a social media type of idea. Is that what came into your mind when you guys were working on the network?
Yeah, it's meant to cater to a few different cases. So definitely we're going to have big groups for, big things that a lot of people do together, and websites and kind of things, existing communities that we'll be able to bring into the game and let them meet each other and play online. And obviously the goal is to make it easy to party up and play with friendly people and kind of change the tone of a lot of multiplayer so it's not quite a wall of hostility when you go in. But we also want to cater to things like you can make a competitive network that's invite only. And so you can have people who are just pro at one game type and they're going to recruit and get people in. And so you can also hit that sweet spot of a small network of friends or of competitive people. And so it's meant to cater to a few different things all at once. And obviously when we do our tech test is going to be the first big test of that, and we'll be watching like crazy to see how people use it.
Yeah, so I guess they can like create whatever type of groups they want, and it's like, oh, this kind of fits me, I'll join this one, or I'm
hopefully more than one.
Yeah, that's all the questions I have, and thanks a lot for doing the interview.
Cool, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.